Remakes for video games are by no means a new thing to the industry. They've been around for a while, but didn't necessarily become a trendy norm till the Crash Bandicoot N. Sane trilogy came to be, which practically recreated the original 3 games by Naughty Dog in a new graphics engine created from the ground up, while also fixing bugs and overall creating a more enjoyable experience than the original versions of the games. The Legend of Zelda series, truth be told, is actually pretty new to this type of thing. We've gotten remakes of several Zelda games such as Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, The Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess. But these, to be honest with you, are not actually true remakes of the games, but they are what I like to call, quote, enhanced ports. They are the original games, but with enhancements, whether it be an upgrade to the graphics, music, HUD layout, textures, loading times, console optimization, among other things like bug or glitch fixes. While I have chosen a topic this broad, we're going to push a lot of this to the side, and I am going to be focusing on the remakes of the GameCube Zelda titles, The Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. My name is HylianLuke, and today I am joined by Hyrule Gamer. We are going to explain to you the pros and cons to The Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. Do keep in mind that this video will contain spoilers for both games, so you've been warned. Alright, let's get into it. To start, let's delve into The Wind Waker HD. When The Wind Waker was given an enhanced port for a Wii U release in 2013, some obvious differences you can see right off the bat is the output ratio has been changed from 4:3 for a CRT television to the modern output resolution of 16:9. There is also a noticeable difference in the lighting and contrast. The text boxes are also faster to skip, should you choose to. Link's running speed is also a tad faster, which honestly makes him feel much more fluent. Loading times between different zones is also smaller. As mentioned before, the lighting and contrast makes a huge difference between this version and its original counterpart. From little details like shadow effects indoors to sunlight in the Forbidden Woods, in areas where it would make sense to have sunlight, the lighting and contrast improve the look and tone of the game by a landslide. One of the bigger, more noticeable differences in The Wind Waker HD, assuming you've played the original, is the added content. Specifically, the Swift Sail, which allows the player to sail the seas twice as fast, as well as automatically change the wind direction to the direction the player faces while sailing to make your sailing experience more smooth and enjoyable. There is also a new hero mode in the game, which doubles the damage Link takes and disables heart drops, which makes for a more challenging experience than the normal game. The Wind Waker songs Link can conduct are also shortened up, as now after playing a specific song for the first time during your current game session, Link will no longer go through the song's conduct cutscene. I could keep going about all the little amazing adjustments the game provided that made the experience more enjoyable, such as the upper D-pad being dedicated to a Wind Waker button so it doesn't take up an item slot, or the other D buttons being used for your boat as a cannon and grappling hook. Not to mention now, the magic armor is vastly better than what it once was. Now, instead of draining your magic upon usage like in the original, the HD magic armor consumes rupees instead of magic. However, rupees are only consumed if Link is hit by an enemy. This is probably one of my favorite improvements to the game, as I ended up never using the GameCube magic armor, but the HD magic armor I did use a few times, just for the sake of it. Let's not forget about what has angered probably a majority of Zelda fans who have played near endgame of The Wind Waker, which is the Triforce Quest. In case you're unaware, Link has to travel the Great Sea in search of 8 Triforce charts in order to find the missing scattered pieces to the Triforce of Courage. However, each chart has to be deciphered by Tingle for 398 rupees per chart. That's a whopping 3,184 rupees you're looking at. Once deciphered, Link then has to go to the location on the chart and salvage the treasure from the sea to get a piece of the Triforce. That sounds like a lot of work, doesn't it? Well, in the HD version of the game, they changed this significantly. 5 of the original 8 Triforce charts were scrapped in favor of normal C charts, and the chests that contained Triforce charts for those 5 were replaced with their Triforce pieces. This made the quest a significantly easier quest, and since it is a requirement to beat the game, I am sure lots of fans rejoiced at this. Another small, yet awesome detail the developers not really fixed, but rather updated, is that now the hitboxes for enemies has been adjusted so now you can attack all you want and not have to wait for enemies to go through their damage animations before attacking again. It's a small, yet wonderful little detail that makes the remake feel more fluent than the original. Now, I've been preaching about the pros of the Wind Waker HD, so now I think it's time for some cons. I personally don't have too many for Wind Waker HD, but something I noticed while playing the HD counterpart of the Wind Waker is how Link seems to be missing his idle animation when he holds an item above his head. He just stands there perfectly still. Not sure why this never got ported to the remake, but it's not that big of a deal. Another con for me would probably be the tingle bottles that Tingle gives you when you release him from his cell on Windfall. The tingle bottles were originally intended to be fun little notes you could write to other random players of the Wind Waker HD thanks to Miiverse support. However, Miiverse is now dead thanks to Nintendo shutting it down. So now, in 2020, we have a useless, unusable item in the Wind Waker HD. I think it would have been better if Nintendo improved the Tingle Tuner instead. The Tingle Tuner could have been a tingle-fied Wii U gamepad, complete with all the features the original Tingle Tuner had. To be honest though, I can see why Nintendo cut it out, as players of the original who didn't have a Game Boy Advance and or a GBA to GameCube link cable also found themselves having another useless item in their inventory. I could honestly keep going and going about all the little things the Wind Waker HD changed, but I do believe it is time to move on to our second Zelda game in discussion.
The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD was released in 2016 to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the original Twilight Princess on the GameCube and Wii back in 2006. Like the Wind Waker HD, the aspect ratio was amped up from 3:4 standard to 16:9 for widescreen. It's rather random, but an interesting change I noticed with the Wii U version of the game is that Link holds the fishing rod he gets from Colin's mother in a different hand than the GameCube and Wii versions. In the Wii U version, he holds it in his sword hand, but in the GameCube and Wii versions, he holds it in his shield hand. Twilight Princess HD also has a hero mode, but unlike Wind Waker HD, you cannot change game modes after starting your quest. This is understandable though, as when selecting hero mode, the game mirrors the normal game's map layout and models as well as animations. I believe this happens as a way for Nintendo to incorporate the mirrored version of Twilight Princess from the Wii into the remake, as Link is right-handed in the Wii version of Twilight Princess. Another small but nice change is the rupee max for each wallet has been increased. The default wallet increased from 300 rupees to 500 rupees. The big wallet increased from 600 rupees to 1000 rupees. And the giant wallet increased from 1000 rupees to 2000 rupees. Alongside these wallet changes, Nintendo included a special wallet called the Colossal Wallet, which holds 9,999 rupees. It can be acquired by completing the Cave of Shadows, which is a new dungeon added to Twilight Princess HD that can only be accessed through the Wolf Link amiibo. The Cave of Shadows is essentially the same as the Cave of Ordeals, except Link cannot be in his human form in this dungeon, and must complete the dungeon using his abilities and skills as a wolf. Speaking of amiibo, the Wind Waker HD didn't get amiibo support because it was released before amiibo became a thing. With Twilight Princess HD, amiibo support was made for the game. Aside from Wolf Link taking you to the Cave of Shadows, some other select Zelda amiibos give you different outcomes. A Link amiibo refills your quiver, so say goodbye to all those times you needed more arrows. A Princess Zelda amiibo refills your hearts, which comes in handy if you ever need the lending hand, and the Ganondorf amiibo is the most interesting in my opinion, as it doubles the amount of damage Link takes, turning his hearts blue. You can combine this with the double damage of hero mode and have Link take 4 times the damage he would normally take. That's some pretty scary stuff and makes for one heck of a challenge. If you want a good challenge for Twilight Princess, be sure to give that a try. One of my biggest disappointments with this version of the game is the magic armor. The magic armor works exactly the same as it does in the original version, where merely wearing it consumes your rupees. After the Wind Waker HD, I was very hopeful that the magic armor in Twilight Princess HD would copy what Wind Waker HD did, where the rupees are only consumed if hit by an enemy. If you complete the Cave of Shadows through and fill up your Colossal Wallet, it's not too big of a deal, as it will take a long time to drain 9,999 rupees in your Colossal Wallet. Another item from the remake added into the game is the pole lantern. The pole lantern is given to Link by Giovanni after collecting 20 Poe souls for him. The pole lantern is great because if you're trying to find all 60 Poes, it makes the hunt much faster and much easier. The lantern will glow if a Poe in a specific area has yet to be killed, regardless of if it's day or night and if the Poe has actually spawned or not. For example, you may be missing a Poe in the Elden region, but the lantern doesn't glow until you reach the Kakariko graveyard. Then you know for a fact that a Poe is lurking in Kakariko graveyard. It's really useful in situations like that. One other major gripe I have with the remake though is, believe it or not, the graphics. Reusing the GameCube models was in my opinion not a very good idea, as it just feels rather off-putting to see these high resolution textures applied to low poly models. I feel this works much better for the Wind Waker HD because of the graphical art style. The art style is cel shaded and cartoony, so of course the models and whatnot do not have to look particularly high quality, because again, the art style mixed with the cel shading makes for a nice mix. However, Twilight Princess HD should have at least smoothed out those rigid polys on all the models. I still love what we got, but it could have been so much more than what was given. Lastly, I would like to add that Twilight Princess HD also updated the enemy hitboxes, creating a more fluent fighting environment, which was pretty cool.
At the end of the day, these remakes are essentially just that, remakes of beloved classics. So whether you prefer the original versions of these games or their remade counterparts, that is up for you to decide. The Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD did a fantastic job in bringing some classic Zelda goodness to us while we waited for Breath of the Wild to release. Thank you all for watching this video. Huge shout out to Hyrule Gamer for being a guest on this video as well. Be sure to check out his channel for some juicy Zelda content. A link to this channel will be in the description below alongside the end card. Did we miss anything? What is your favorite thing about the Wind Waker HD or Twilight Princess HD? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed it and would like to see some more Zelda content from me, be sure to hit the subscribe button as well as hit that bell notification for whenever I upload. If you aren't aware, I do stream on my second channel now instead of this one, so be sure to subscribe to my second channel, HylianLuke, for live streams and other content there. If you haven't yet, also be sure to leave a like and check the description for all my social media links and my Patreon. That's all for today. Thank you all for tuning in. My name is HylianLuke, and I will see you all next time. Ciao!